The tension in the room was thick. The operators of SEAL Team 6 clenched their fists as Jessica Buchanan's desperate pleas crackled through the speakers. An American teacher, kidnapped by Somali pirates, now lay sick and starving somewhere in the unforgiving desert. Her fate rested in the hands of heavily armed men who saw her as nothing more than a bargaining chip. For SEAL Team 6, failure was never an option. But this mission would push them to the limits. Gale-force winds threatened to cancel the operation, the kind of conditions that would make even the most hardened paratrooper hesitate. A raging solar storm disrupted satellite communications, meaning they'd be flying blind, cut off from their support teams. And yet, there was no hesitation. Jessica didn't have another 24 hours. So, with their parachutes secured and their oxygen tanks double-checked, the SEALs leaped into the void, into the darkness of one of the most daring hostage rescues ever attempted. Jessica Buchanan had dedicated her life to something bigger than herself. Living in Somalia with her husband, she worked to educate children about the deadly remnants of war, hidden landmines scattered across the countryside. On October 25, 2011, she and her Danish colleague, Paul Thisted, set out on a routine mission. But this day was different. Something was wrong. Their usual driver was missing, replaced by an unfamiliar man behind the wheel. Jessica hesitated, but Paul climbed in without a second thought. She followed. 10 minutes into the drive, the world turned upside down. A large vehicle screeched to a halt in front of them. Nearly 30 armed men poured out, their AK-47s hammering against the car's windows, shouting orders in a language she couldn't understand. They yanked her from the vehicle. Before she could scream, a rifle barrel pressed against her temple. The driver, now revealed as a conspirator, hit the gas, taking them deeper into the unknown. Jessica and Paul were forced into another vehicle, their captors high on cat, a drug that fueled their erratic aggression. The nightmare had begun. For 3 months, Jessica lived on the razor's edge between life and death. She endured the blistering heat, the gnawing hunger, and the constant psychological torture. The pirates were ruthless. Amused by their own cruelty, they staged mock executions, laughing at her terror. A ransom of $1.5 million had been rejected. They wanted more. As if starvation and fear weren't enough, Jessica's body began betraying her. A severe infection set in, and without medical treatment, she knew it was only a matter of time before she succumbed. In a final, desperate video plea, she begged for her life. What she didn't know was that, 10,000 miles away, 24 cell phones rang in unison. SEAL Team 6 had been activated. For weeks, the elite warriors of SEAL Team 6's Blue Squadron trained relentlessly, simulating every possible scenario. Then, on January 25, 2012, the order came from the highest office in the land. President Barack Obama himself had given the green light. 24 of America's deadliest operators would risk everything. Their objective: infiltrate the Somali desert, eliminate the threat, and extract the hostages alive. At an operations base in Djibouti, every available resource was mobilized. The cost of the mission soared past $100 million, because for the United States, saving one citizen was worth every penny. The C-130 transport plane cut through the night sky. Below, the Somali desert stretched endlessly into the horizon. Then, the unexpected happened. A massive solar storm erupted, disrupting global communications. The SEALs were now on their own. The pilot gave the go. The warriors stepped forward, oxygen masks secured, and leapt into the howling wind. Plummeting at 120 miles per hour, they fought against near impossible conditions. The wind was twice the speed that would normally cancel a jump. Some SEALs were dragged hundreds of yards across the ground upon landing. Yet, with steely precision, they regrouped. The mission continued. For miles, they moved in silence, the scorching Somali night pressing against them. At 500 meters from the target, they halted. Each step forward now was life or death. They adjusted their night vision, weapons ready.
All right, we need to boogie and we need to do it quiet till we find the center.
Draw the fighters to you and make some noise. Don't follow me. I'll be fine.
What are the rules of engagement? Weapons free, my friend. Weapons free.
The pirates had no idea death was closing in. SEAL sniper Justin Sheffield signaled. The men fanned out, laser sights locking onto targets. Then, a fatal mistake. A pirate, sensing something in the dark, racked his PKM machine gun. It was the last sound he ever made. A sniper's round dropped him instantly. Chaos erupted. The pirates fired wildly into the night, their bullets slicing through the air. The SEALs moved like shadows, executing targets with ruthless efficiency. Multiple SEALs peeled off, clearing huts one by one. They found stacks of ammunition, RPGs, and a stockpile of supplies meant for future operations. The pirates, disoriented and untrained in coordinated combat, scrambled for cover. In the frenzy, two pirates stood directly over Jessica, their weapons trained on her. Sheffield didn't hesitate. 2 shots, 2 bodies hit the dirt. Jessica gasped, her wide eyes locking onto her rescuer. Without a word, Sheffield threw himself over her, shielding her from the storm of bullets. Elsewhere, SEALs secured Paul, cutting his bindings and shielding him in the chaos. Another group set explosives on the pirates' weapons cache, ensuring they would never use them again. The firefight raged, but within minutes, it was over. 9 pirates lay dead. The camp was secure. Sheffield scooped Jessica into his arms, sprinting away from the carnage. Another SEAL did the same for Paul, ensuring both hostages were safe. The other SEALs formed a protective ring around them, weapons ready for any unseen threat. In the distance, the Black Hawk helicopter awaited. Jessica stumbled, her strength failing, but the warriors around her never wavered. Finally, they reached the landing zone. The Black Hawk's rotors roared to life. Jessica looked up at the bearded man beside her, her voice trembling. What if more come? Sheffield met her gaze, his expression unshakable. We are SEAL Team 6. We will kill anyone who tries to harm you.